Hello everyone, this is Monalisha Padi. I am a legal intern at Lexis and Company, and today's topic is presumption of marriage. The institution of marriage came into existence as an exclusive union in the eras of man's ostensive power. Nevertheless, it is a person affirming love, enabling life giving, and sanctifying reality, which is undoubtedly the rock on which a family is based. It is an institution common to all faiths and religions world over. It is the prerequisite of a family, which is the most basic unit of society. Hindus especially attach great religious importance to the concept of marriage. In India, marriage or vivaha, as it is termed in Sanskrit, is the single most important ritual and event in the lives of individuals. It continues to contain almost all the ancient features from its time of its origin. The history of Hindu marriage can be traced back in few millennia. Scriptures speak very highly with a clear tinge of religious fervor about the ideal of marriage. Marriage tie has always been considered sacred and high values placed on this bond since time immemorial. According to Satapatha Bhavanas, the wife is the verily half of the husband, man is only half, not complete until he marries. The marriage is an institution where a man and woman are tied together by wedlock, and it is the basic unit of the society. The joy and pride of marriage is obvious, and that is the fundamental reasoning behind the united family where husband, wife, and children live together in harmony. This marriage is the supporting pillar for the Indian nation culture. So, whenever a man and woman live as husband and wife for a fairly long time and were so reputed, law presumes they are living as husband and wife. Common law courts presumes morality and not immorality, marriage and not concubinage, legitimacy and not bastardy. All the principles with respect to presumption of marriage in India has been borrowed from common law. India unquestionably has a very huge common law tradition. There is a presumption in favor of marriage as against concubinage when a man and woman have cohabited continuously for a number of years. Presumption is both with regard to the factum of marriage and legality of it. Presumption is a matter of fact, so it is refutable. And if there are circumstances which weaken or destroy the presumption, the court cannot ignore them. What circumstances or evidence will weaken or destroy the presumption must necessarily depend upon facts of each case, and no hard and fast rule can be laid down in regard to that matter. We need to look into what constitutes a valid marriage to be able to understand how and where presumption comes into play. Some major legal problems which are associated with the marriage are with this issue are marriage, alimony, child support, and inheritance. Thus, it assumed great importance. In recent Supreme Court judgment, the case of Chunania versus Chunania Virendra Kumar Kusai and another, the Honorable Judge G.S. Singhvi and Ashok Kumar Ganguly pronounced that in those cases where a man who lived with a woman for a long time, and even though may not have undergone legal necessities of a valid marriage, should be made liable to pay the woman maintenance if he deserts her. The man should not be allowed to benefit from the legal loopholes by enjoying the advantage of a de facto marriage without undertaking the duties and obligations. The legal sanction is very much called for, as innocent women should not be rendered helpless because of cunning males who cohabit with them without marrying or on false consolation. There are differences in the way various religions look into this issue. A Hindu marriage must either be performed with the sastric ceremonies and rites or in accordance with the customary rites and ceremonies. As per Section 7, Clause 1 of Hindu Marriage Act 1955, the ceremonies may be customary rites and ceremony of either party. Some essential ceremonies of Hindu marriage includes invocation before the sacred fire, Saptapadi taking 7 steps by the bride and groom jointly before the sacred fire. In Vande Rama Rao versus State of Andhra Pradesh, the marriage was held to be invalid as it was not performed according to the established traditional rites and rituals of their families but in a noble and innovative way. Since time immemorial, the practice of men and women living together without a marital bond has been quite common in practice. The Nawabs, princes, and the wealthy class not only had several wives but also had several live-in women in their jananas. As a practice, it was not considered immoral. It was rather looked upon as necessary for a man's entertainment and relaxation. This can be attributed to the fact that Women were quite unaware of their rights and were kept in the dark for a long time as a subdued sex. After independence, however, the practice of bigamy was outlawed and such practices slowly died out. All of a sudden, live in relationship was given the status of a taboo. That's all for the topic. Thank you, and please like and comment on the video.